Let me ask you honestly, do you still remember your partner's phone number? If you had to pause for 3 seconds, yeah, I get it. Now let's raise the difficulty a little. Try typing the exact IP address 172. 274. 46 just to open Google and search for instant noodle recipes. How does that feel? Your brain probably twitched a little, didn't it? And here's the funniest part. The internet was originally built to speak only in numbers like that. No words. No domain names. No Facebook. Como. No YouTube. Come. Just long strings of digits that look like random license plates. If the internet had kept its original design, every time you wanted to watch a video, you'd have to memorize dozens of numeric sequences. Total brain overload. Then a silent character appeared, a savior that kept humanity from turning into a civilization of number-memorizing parrots. What's strange is that this hero wasn't hardware, wasn't an AI chip, and definitely wasn't the invention of some lone genius. It was an idea born from one very human trait, laziness. Let's rewind to the early days of the internet. There were no home pages, no search bars. One computer could only talk to another by specifying its exact numerical address. Imagine two friends calling each other but using phrases like, "Hey, ibay joshar, ibay losherba." 74 sounds more like opening a safe than having a conversation. Those number strings are called IP addresses, the real names of every device you use. Your phone has one. Your laptop has one. The giant server sitting somewhere in Tokyo has one too. Everything was numbers. Numbers. And more numbers. The problem, humans are terrible at remembering digits. We can remember a loved one's face, last year's vacation, or a favorite song, but ask us to memorize 20 chaotic numbers, hard pass. That's when the internet reached a very awkward moment in its history. Imagine wanting to read the news back then. The radio announcer might say, "To read today's headlines, type 204. Wushaloo. Arjar. E. The next day, the server changes. To read tomorrow's edition, type 204. Wushalio. Arjar. Ibay sishitsi. Users lived in a permanent state of digital dizziness. Eventually, someone asked a simple question. Is there a way to make the internet less robotic and less numeric? That question led to an invention that saved humanity's collective brain from overload. A group of engineers looked at the endless sea of numbers and said, "No, we can't keep forcing users to type this forever." And that's how DNS was born. If the internet were a city as big as Earth, DNS would be the phone book that keeps you from getting lost. When you type YouTube, com base tron 4z, you're actually asking for directions. Your computer quietly whispers to DNS, "Hey, what's YouTube's street address?" DNS doesn't sigh. It doesn't complain. It flips through its directory, finds the correct entry, and replies, "Ah, it lives at 172. Lianbai Shilio. XX. Head straight there." This tiny bit of digital gossip happens in less than 1/100 of a second. The website loads before you even take a sip of coffee. Thanks to DNS, our brains no longer need to memorize endless strings of numbers. Instead of remembering 172, Lianbai Shilio, Sishilo, you just remember. Google, type the word done. What's even more interesting is that DNS works like a 90s style phone directory, organized in layers. If the DNS server near you doesn't know the answer, it asks a neighbor, a larger DNS server. The question keeps climbing upward, like asking an entire neighborhood for directions. Because of this layered design, the internet doesn't get clogged with everyone asking the same place at once. It's such a simple idea that it almost sounds like a joke, yet it's efficient enough that the entire world depends on it. The best thing about DNS isn't just remembering addresses. The best thing is how it survives the chaos of the internet without collapsing. Server goes down, no problem. DNS has backups. Route gets congested. DNS finds another path. A website changes its IP address. DNS updates itself within seconds. Imagine owning a phone book that automatically edits itself whenever someone moves to a new house. You don't need to rewrite anything. You don't need to cross out old entries. The book updates, reorganizes, and merges new information on its own. Even if a website has 20 different IP addresses to balance traffic, DNS knows which route will get you there fastest. And the best part, all of this happens behind your back. No notifications. No pop-ups. No press OK to continue. The internet quietly reshapes its own structure just so your videos stream smoothly. DNS is deeply human by design. It exists because humans are too lazy to memorize numbers. Yet that very laziness accidentally created an invisible layer of intelligence running beneath the entire global network, a layer that, if removed, would instantly turn the internet into an inescapable maze. Just think about it if DNS vanished tomorrow. You couldn't type Google.com anymore. You'd have to enter the IP address of every website you use. Human brains would melt within 24 hours. Now you understand why I call DNS the silent hero that saved the human brain. Without it, we'd be living in a numerical nightmare, carrying notebooks filled with hundreds of IP addresses just to find our way back to YouTube. Luckily, we don't live like that. Thanks to a simple yet elegant design, the internet became so easy to use that even a 3-year-old can watch cat videos. If you enjoy uncovering the wild logic hidden behind everyday technology, pull your chair a little closer. Hit subscribe. DNS is only the opening act, and I've got a whole vault of secrets waiting. The coffee's still hot, and the story is just getting started.